I started playing back last November-ish.
Yeah.
I introduced it. He went over to your house, introduced it to you.
Yeah, later that winter.
Yeah, sometime during this lumber period of winter, and you obviously got interested and purchased it. I probably enticed you with the whole, at the time it was like $10 sign up and you get all the updates for free for the rest of your life and all that. And from there we just it went crazy. But we quickly ran into the issue of no one's ever going to see what I've built. It's just me. As you said, there's 50 zombies down there and surrounding my tower. I could build a whole slew of, torch-lit other towers to keep them away, but why does it really matter?
Yeah,
so then we set up the Sudden server, and we started playing just me and you, and we had our two cities, and we built those up over time.
And initially in that, I think that the lack of a challenge in the single-player mode made us immediately very hostile towards one another.
Yeah, well, yeah,
when we
because
opened up that mode.
One, we're already kind of competitive whenever we're playing a game together. Not necessarily directly, but there is like, oh yeah, I'm going to do this.
Yeah.
Or I'm going to surprise you with that.
Yeah.
So you suddenly introduce this new variable of there's another person in this game. There hasn't been anything that, as you said, that's challenged me at all for a long time.
I'm building all of these things. They're all safe. I don't have to lock my doors. But
right.
Now there's this
wild card element. And he could do anything. He's going to steal my stuff. He's going to steal the thousands of diamonds that I've accumulated that I can't do anything with.
Right.
He's definitely going to steal my stuff.
Put up signs to tease each other.
Right. I remember when we started our server, it was hilarious because we started it and we both logged on that first night, started a brand new world, and I went in one direction, or we traveled the first night of the game together. And we ended up camping like in this dark cave, huddled together, shaking, Yeah. And then you hear monsters outside. The next day, you logged on by yourself, right? We each logged on by ourselves, and you had gone off and made your own city, and I had made my city right where our cave had been. And it was right then. It was, there's your city, and there's mine. Yeah. And it was far enough apart that you better not come into my territory.
Yeah, it was a good 10-minute walk to get.
And over time, obviously, we built transportation back and forth, and there were...
The two cities communicated.
Right.
We
shared resources.
There was some civility. Always with a lot of backhanded remarks.
Right. And little tricks and teases.
13 miles to Claymore, land of famine.
Right. Exactly, yeah. Signs that indicated that one of us was clearly better than the other. But... those days, even now it passes, but I actually forgot. We had a server before that. When I very first introduced you to the game. Yeah. And in the concept of us playing together.
That was actually where I started learning the game. For the most part, I had played it some on single player, and I'd really just stayed in one small area. And it wasn't until you started that server that I went off and kind of explored some and tried to set up my own place. And it was, I didn't know a lot about it at the time. And I'm the kind of person that I don't read instructions to things. I just go in and I start messing around. So there was obviously a lot of limitations for what I could do. I think I might have just had a little stone cave with some very rudimentary tools, and you'd come along with your compasses and clocks and bows and arrows.
I remember I gave you a couple things, but I remember specifically where you were because I'd taken a lot of steps to make sure that I monitored your behavior. Your very first place you built was on this tiny island in like the ocean, and you could see these other islands around you that had forests on them. And so one night you logged off, and I knew where you logged off, and I went there with my character, and I burnt it all to the ground. And I burnt all the forests down to the ground that were around it. And I put a sign up that said something like, don't mess with Berg, or something like that. And then what I did that you didn't know, and that I don't think I ever ended up showing you, was I built a secret underwater cave, like right next to there. In case you ever came back, I would have an easy spot where I can monitor your behavior. Like it immediately became like this kind of joke where we have to compete because
that server still I was so new to it at that point that I couldn't kill a mob.
Well, sure.
A spider would come and I'd just huddle up against the corner and wait for you to come with the bow and arrow and kill it.
Right.
Because I think eventually in that one I wound up kind of moving into your place uninvited.
Eventually,
and I think you got real concerned about that because I'd walk around and you just stand there watching what I'm doing.
I was paranoid. It was my problem. I kept building like secret areas and then like taunting you that you would never find my secret area. So I built like the waterfall of lava, and then behind it I had like a secret entrance to my super secret base that was already inside of my bigger base. And that's where I kept all my important stuff. And I'd like grow trees underground down there so that I'd have my own resources in case you went mad. I could like you caused apocalypse on the world. I could save myself.
Yeah.
And like hide away in a place that you would never find me because you were new to the game.
Yeah. I know I got real close to it one time, and I didn't even know. I think you were logged in, and I just standing real close to something. I'm right up against that waterfall, or the lava waterfall. That didn't make sense, but anyway.
Lava fall.
Yeah, he just like appeared behind me, and the text goes up like, "What are you doing here?"
Like I said, it was the age of paranoia, and I hope that we've grown past that now. But who knows? Who knows? So anyway, that's a little bit of our history. I mean, that just kind of continued on and on. We built a brand new world. We actually have a YouTube video up from, it's outdated now, but of the server. Just kind of showing some
the transportation system.
Yeah, showing some of our different areas via our
Suddenbrain channel on YouTube.
Yes, youtube.com/Suddenbrain. Check it out.
So yeah. So when we come back, we're gonna go to a little break, and when we come back, we're gonna talk version 1.8.
That's right.
I think you know a little more about it than I do. I have some.
I played it some.
Remarks.
It's pretty new. I've played it some though. It's good, but
it's
Minecraft
incomplete.
always leaves you wanting more.
It's incomplete.
Yeah.
Just like this show.
We'll be right back.
Right back.
Gang coming over for the big game? Tired of boring old dry beans? Reach for a can of Berg's Cajun-style seeping beans and you'll be the life of the party. Made with 100% illegally imported beans, Berg's will have your knees knocking in no time because remember, you ain't seen beans seep till you've had Berg's.